two of our downtown neighbors from Jack V. Butterfield Investments, Jason Butterfield and Ben Butterfield. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Longtime downtown neighbors. Of course,
You could say that.
I have so many memories of watching you guys walk to lunch with your dad over the years. I don't see that as much anymore.
It's fair. Yeah, the life gets a little
Life
busy.
gets a little busy.
Try to squeeze in different things at lunch with young kids. But yeah, we've been downtown for a lot longer than we've been alive.
Yeah.
So.
Jason is Mr. Downtown. He's a
That's right.
long-time Downtown Development Authority board member.
Yeah, with you for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the family business growing up. Did you guys know that you wanted to get into the family business?
Sure. I think for a long time, the first time I think I really learned that I wanted to be involved, my dad actually gave me a check one day, and it had a Mickey Mouse on it. And I said, "What's this?" He said, "That's a dividend check." And he explained to me that, just early investing and how you can buy a part ownership in a company and you can grow your money that way. And that planted a seed in me early on. It was a small thing, but
Sure.
it really grew, for me personally.
That's very cool. How about you, Ben?
Yeah, a little different. I don't remember any Mickey Mouse checks, but I kind of had a different, you could say path to get where we're at today. But I graduated from college and chased a girl to Chicago, who obviously became my wife, and lived there and wasn't in the finance business, and just was speaking with Jason and my brother Nick, and kind of getting more of insight on what was really going on, and working with family is obviously an interesting dynamic.
Sure.
But we seemingly make it work every day. And once we moved back, I decided to give it a go and get the security licenses, and we've kind of made it what we have today.
Yeah.
Just from tutelage from our father and Tim Thayer, and it's been great. I mean, it's not easy working with family.
I can relate.
As you guys are a little bit, but,
What are you talking about?
but we get along pretty well,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things where I feel very fortunate to work with my family. Definitely there's more emotional conversations than what most businesses probably deal with, but it's been great. So,
But you guys, you've a lot of longevity within your staff, Jason. I mean,
We have.
You get, obviously, of course, your father, but Tim's
Right.
been there a long
40
time.
plus years. Katie Potter, 30 years almost now.
almost, yeah.
That's really amazing.
It is. No, we have
And
fantastic staff.
Amy's been with our dad for, I don't know, close to that as well. I mean,
Right.
that's one thing that I always really respected about the way John and Tim ran the businesses. I mean, there's been very, very, very minimal turnover.
Yeah.
And now we have Dave Kavner, who you know well, who's been just a massive asset.
Yeah.
And obviously our brother Nick. I possibly we should mention him, but
Yeah, well,
but he's great.
we've got a golf match to sort out. before
You guys do have a match.
We have.
I've already been chirping him a little bit about it, so if there's anything
Yeah, I
you wanna
figured
get out
that's
there.
he's going to get a round of customer golf from the Hollies, and congratulations, you're going to get it. Let's talk a little bit about the investing side of things and why companies maybe like our size or any size should have a company or sponsored retirement plan.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously Jackson is made up of a lot of small businesses. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are in the same situation that we are. That they're generational employees and they have a lot of pride. And when my dad brought me in and dealing with Nick and Jason, I decided to kind of take on that space and be more kind of the company sponsored plan consultant for our firm. And it's been a really enjoyable and positive thing that 401ks and 403bs and simple IRA plans, they're not necessarily a profit center. They're more or less an expense for businesses, so they don't get the attention that most things do within the company. But what most people don't realize is that if you have a plan or you've essentially we'll say you started one 10, 15 years ago, if you haven't really looked at it or had it really repriced, there's a lot of opportunity to save money on internal costs that takes very little time and effort and essentially just helps the business owners and frankly most of the participants within the plans. And when you're talking big plans, $5, $10 million, I mean, you save 10, 15, 20% off the internal expenses. That can go a real long way in regards to everyone's potential retirement income. But we tend to try and partner with companies in town and with a little bit of feedback and a little bit of a couple meetings here and there, we've had a lot of success, and it's been a really a great venture for me and for our company.
You almost become a part of these companies, really.
Really try to. I mean, I try to be as available as the company wants me to be. So some companies, obviously, they're very busy. They don't necessarily want that type of interaction on a quarterly or semi-annual basis, but some want more interaction. And I kind of cater to whatever they prefer, and then ultimately we've tried to make it a free service to all the employees if they want to come in and sit with Jason or Nick or Tim or John, and we provide free financial planning for those individuals that are under our window of umbrella, of company sponsored plans. So it's been great.
Yeah.
Your company, the name Butterfield, it's long associated in this community with financial planning, investing, and retirement. You mentioned your dad at it for 40 plus years?
43, I think, 40.
Yeah, I mean.
43 years?
Yeah, he took over for his dad who passed away, but he worked with our grandpa for
A short amount of time.
short amount of time. But
He had to become a owner
Early.
and
Really early.
learn how to run a business a lot
Yeah.
quicker than I think he would like to.
Sure.
So, and again, him and Tim have been with each other for a long time, but he is very, very passionate and very, very knowledgeable in the space. And I think we probably don't realize how fortunate we are in regards to what we learn on a daily basis. But we see the way that he and Tim handle clients, and we try to really follow their path that they've put before us. But it's a big responsibility, so we take it very serious.
Yeah,
So.
your dad is. I see him every morning. He's the first person down here. I rarely meet him downtown, but when my daughter gets a driver's license, I plan to meet him downtown. Let's dispel a couple myths. Do I need to have a lot of money to come see you?
Sure. For us, no. We are maybe unique in this sense, but we work with anyone. So whether you're just starting out or you're about to, say, thinking about retiring, we don't have any minimums. So if you're never invested before and you're wondering what the next steps are, we're happy to work with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and what about age? At what age should people really start to be serious?
62, Bart. You should start to
Be serious about. Well, you can never be too, I think, proactive in that. The younger you start, the more advantage you have with investing. I mean, you always have to, if you have time on your side,
Yeah.
You can.
But it's absolutely true. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's something that occurs every week where people are hesitant to put money in, especially in like a 401k spot, because I'm 50, it's too late, and ultimately that's I've never met someone who has too much money in retirement assets. So I try to encourage anyone. I mean, if you guys want an opportunity to retire, ultimately you're gonna have to retire yourself. So no one's gonna retire, for you. So
You guys, John, Nick, and Tim, you guys are very involved in the community. You're all on boards, you do a lot of volunteering. I see you a lot. You've been a big brother, and you guys are part of a lot of organizations. Being part of the community and the giving back that you do, how important is that to the firm?
I think it's extremely important. I mean, we work here, we live here. We work with a lot of people that live in town, so I think that's extremely important to have that footprint in the community. Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, you guys obviously, just along with us, have seen the transformation of downtown and what that does for the community. I always tell the story that my in-laws are from Chicago, but they're here often, and what they've seen from downtown Jackson to the 10 years or 12 years ago when we moved here, it's something they tell all their friends about. They're like, this area is awesome. It's a hidden gem. So just trying to, it's not necessarily more about the firm. It's just, as Jason alluded to, we live here. This is our kids are all here. We're not going anywhere. So we really want to try to be, as involved as we possibly can. It's been, having young kids.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You're wearing a lot of hats, but
Yeah. Us like you guys, being downtown so long, I think the change to now is even cooler because you saw some dark days down here.
Absolutely.
When there were only
Yeah.
a couple businesses open.
I know.
Right.
And we said the company's actually 1937. It's been downtown since 1937. So, which is a long time.
Well, you invested in a cornerstone
Yeah.
of the community, the corner of Michigan and Jackson, the Fields building. That was your, I think, risk, because at the time there were tumbleweeds.
Right.
Yeah, that was John.
That was
John
our
and,
father's big bet.
that was his big bet, and the one thing that I think we all agree on is parking down here is not ideal, and that was one thing that he wanted to make sure that we had was sufficient parking. And
It's a repark.
I park there sometimes.
it's a great building. It's really something where I think, like you said, it was definitely a bet at the time, but he would tell you it's one of his better ventures for sure.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming down today, and appreciate you being with us on JTV.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Thank you for having us
From
on.
Jack
Appreciate it.
V. Butterfield Investments, Ben Butterfield and Jason Butterfield. We wrap up the show right after this break.